Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for March 26th through April 1st, 2018. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and to allow everything that's on our mind to just fall away. Just really letting go, relaxing, and just letting things. They wrote out the word rest, so maybe they're also kind of indicating um, a need for you to rest, to relax. They wrote out the word safe. So um, maybe you're focusing on things in such a way, or you've been trying to um, create a sense of security in your life. For some of you, they're writing that they're writing love, and they wrote fast, and joy. So it feels like something is moving very quickly, and maybe your one area of your life, in terms of love or romance, and and maybe you're not feeling, you want a security. You want to feel safe in this situation. So you want to allow yourself to relax and enjoy it, but you're possibly just, having concerns, or you're anticipating or expecting and creating worries for yourself. So it feels like you just need to relax. And this feels like the same across the board, that, you're in this place where you're wanting, and you're anxiously wanting, and that it seems like you they're writing the word lock, like you're locking yourself in at this early stage. You're already locking yourselves in. It's like something that we tend to do. We want we want assurances. This they're saying that lack motivates this so much in us. We're doing really well. We're on the path of really achieving what we want, and then we want to lock everything in. We want bolts. We want to nail everything to the floor. We want assurances. We want to know that we got this. That we have this. That this is not going anywhere. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're not allowing for the flexibility, um, for things to unfold, and to expand, to evolve. You really have to let go of wanting to bolt all the furniture down, and it's that kind of idea. You think somebody's going to come and steal it from you or take it from you. This belief, all of this is so motivated by lack. um, this desire to control things, and to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. See, what you're fighting, what you're resisting is change. You know that change is the one thing about the universe that you have to accept for your own sake. And they just wrote that out. This is something that you have to accept for your own sake. And they're writing the word earth, and I feel like they're guiding you right now, especially as we're watching change of season from winter into spring. And we're watching, winter, the season is sort of like the earth sort of loses everything, right? It becomes bare after having, you know, so much having developed and blossomed and flourished, to then it sort of beginning to fade into then absolute nothingness. And so through the season of winter, we kind of live in a period of barrenness, where all that security, all of it's gone. And why does nature do this for us? Why does nature take us through this cycle of giving us so much abundance, so much beauty, and resplendent beauty, and wondrous things to behold, and then gradually take it all away and leave us with a period of what appears to be barrenness, like where there's nothing. And this cycle of change is something that we need to be aware of, that in our lives, because it all rejuvenates again. It comes back in beautiful and new ways. And so it reminds us that even though we change and we acquire and we achieve, and then we're not losing, but we are letting go. We're letting go in order to gain something even better on the next cycle. Each cycle we acquire something better. We acquire what we need to fulfill the desires that are guiding us and leading us in new directions. And so you don't want to bolt anything down. You want your love to evolve. You want to surrender anything that's no longer needed. Um, Anything that, because like anything, there's stuff that we need to throw out. I mean, we have trash that we have to throw out. We use things, and the things that aren't used. The body does the same thing. The earth does the same thing, and so we discard them so that we have a clarity, and that clarity gets brighter and clearer and more vivid and more I can't find a word, but it just becomes more true, more authentic, right? And so this allows us, when the more that we are becoming more authentic, more clear, then the choices, the gifts that we experience or exchange are more profound, more more representative of what you are becoming. So you don't want to bolt anything down. You don't want to bolt another person down. You don't want to bolt your job down. You don't want to bolt any of your things down. You want to always be open to letting what needs to go so that what needs to happen can. So let's really put this cycle of change and into perspective, and let's also put into perspective what kind of security you truly should be aiming for. And the security that you have, the assurance you have in this world, is that change is going is inevitable. It's not happening against your will. It's happening with your will. It's happening with the universal plan, to bring to you, to constantly update your goals for peace, prosperity, freedom, expression, and happiness. You know, this is the right word, happy, happy. This is why change happens. It's the prayer, like we've been talking about, emotion, fulfilling the happiness that you deserve. That feels really beautiful when I say that. My heart just, you know, so it's really there to help fulfill the happiness that you deserve, to fulfill the happiness that you deserve. So change is an act of love, they're saying. Change is the way that you're actually watching God's love being offered to you. because like you're asking God constantly, and He's offering and changes that vehicle for 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 the love, that unrestricted love, you know, to shower you with opportunities to fulfill that which makes you happy. So you're being showered with opportunities that would make you happy. So enjoy your life. And I keep seeing the word laugh again. And, don't take it seriously, don't take it personally. You know, remember, it's a choice that you make. It's your choice whether you enjoy this process or not. So enjoy it. Choose to enjoy it. And if you don't try to bolt everything down, meaning be really attached and you're more detached and you're open to the possibilities, knowing that the universe is listening to your heart, knows it, has discerned what you are really focused upon, and is offering that to you. And I must add again, as I said last week, you know, it's offering what you're focused upon. So you're always getting what you have been focused upon, whether you like the offering or not. If you want that to shift, then you have to adjust how you focus, right? But knowing that the universe is always helping you, and is sifting through all of that, the inconsistency, and is finding the consistency in your focus. So you don't beat yourself up about being inconsistent or wavering all over the place. Just keep trying to focus as best you can, consistently, and the universe will read that clearly. It doesn't need to be hard. They're writing that word in front of me, hard. It doesn't need to be hard, because if you understand that the universe is always on your side, is always looking at whatever, is always looking at life through you, as the best of you. It's always seeing the best of you and what your potential is, and it's helping you by feeding you, amplifying those ideas for you, so that you are inspired to pick up on them and to incorporate them into your beliefs, your thought process, your wants and desires, your wishes. It's helping you. It's constantly inspiring you. It sees what is the best for you, that which would help you to live, to thrive in prosperity and happiness and joy and in love and in success. It sees that. It sees your gifts. It knows what your soul has amassed in its entirety, and it knows what you are capable of, but it doesn't make the choice for you, but it inspires you constantly. And you're picking it up, and you're gonna waver, you're gonna be inconsistent because you're human. But your desire, your willingness to always try is good enough. It's perfect. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to turn this into, you know, this you know, this campaign, against yourself, against your negative thoughts, your thoughts that are not in alignment with that which we've been describing. You don't have to conquer yourself. All you have to do is keep trusting the love that is available for you, because you don't have to earn that love. It's it's given freely. It's showered upon you all the time. And that's why if you listen and you relax, as we were talking about in the beginning, if you just relax, it'll come. If it doesn't come right in that moment, just do something that you love. Go relax. Go, work in your garden. You know, do anything. Go paint. Go listen to some music. Go for a walk. You know, go exercise. Go to yoga class. Do whatever. It'll come because love is showered upon you. It's raining cats and dogs all the time, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's never a dry season in terms of love. It's always pouring. And so when you're inconsistent or you're off, just do something that puts you back on. You know what turns you on, and don't be ashamed about what turns you on either. If it turns you on and it lines you up with who you are, and you and it makes you feel good about who you are. Let's add that in, right? Because we know there are things that turn us on, but they don't always make us feel good about who we are. We don't gain anything from it. Or at least we always are gaining from everything, but it's like what is it that we're gaining? And when we are not gaining something that is fulfilling, then we don't feel good about it. And that is not there to say shame, shame, shame on you. That's there to say this is who you really are, and this is who you aren't. And when you have those moments when things don't feel good, it's because that's just saying, for you, this isn't who you are. For you, this isn't where you are trying to go. This situation or that particular thing that you're doing is not helping you. It's just a clear signal. Just like the signal of positivity is just another signal. The signals, one is not good and one is not bad. We label them that way, but I wish we didn't have words in some instances, because if it was just the feeling, go, and this one was like, and the other one was like, then you'd be like, oh, that way. It's like we get words and then we go on, we elaborate and we go, yeah, because it's sticky, icky, wicky, wicky, nicky, and I don't like it. And then over here we're like, oh, la. And the thing is, okay, yes, this is the one we're choosing, but the more words that we add, sometimes we're just now judging, we're judging. You're like, well, this is so great and this is really bad. It's that kind of, so if you just focus on what interests me, instead of talking about what's good and what's bad, just what interests me. See the neutrality of what interests me or what fulfills me. We're not talking about positive and negative. We're not talking about good and evil, bad, and all that stuff. We're just talking about what fulfills me. What am I passionate about? Like the conversation of that, those things don't judge. Because you're really now, it's almost like a I am conversation, and you're really like, it's like you've dialed up your I am presence by talking about what makes you tick, what makes you click, what aligns you. You don't really need to be always having the conversation, the dialogue about the good and the bad in order to find that connection with your I am. The duality, the this is good, this is bad, that putting things into categories is actually ego. Are you hearing me about this? Because this is, I've been trying to articulate this. It's come out in conversations, but with friends. But this is the clearest I think I've said it. It's at first I could only feel it, but now this is putting it into words, which is hard to do because the universe is language, and the way that the energy flows is the thought process, the belief is so different, even if than the way that the words that we use, it's very different. And so, putting the ego is always about duality. So whenever you're comparing something, you're getting stuck in that duality frequency that the ego uses, because you're judging. Whenever you have to categorize stuff, you're just judging. And again, we don't beat up ourselves about this, but we notice the feeling. It's like the feeling helps us to refine our process of being more focused on what we're aligned with. So if I'm just talking about what I'm passionate about, this is like saying I am. What interests what interests me, what fulfills me. If I'm focused on that, like I'm in a meeting, instead of sitting here going, oh, these people over here get on my nerves, and I like these people, I like the way they think, and if you, instead of doing that and just saying, okay, this really interests me. See how clean that feels? Yeah, I'm really passionate about that over there. I just know it, and I don't need to go through the pros and the cons, because that's where doubt creeps in, when we're always going back and forth and looking at the reasons why we should and why we shouldn't. Again, ego, and it seems like it's purposeful and it helps us out, but what it's really doing, if we're listening to our heart, we're feeling. See, the heart is always giving you feedback. Like I can feel it right in my sight. It's a very subtle little, ooh, and it's going, that doesn't. Why do you do that? I mean, it's just simple. Oh yeah, see how that feels. Like it's so simple. Pay attention to how this, the words of this dimension. Pay attention to how they affect the heart, which I really believe is from such a higher dimension. I don't believe our heart ever is stuck in third dimension. And so pay attention to the way it feels about things that are being said. Once you get to a point where you have cleared most of the clutter, um, from your understanding and your beliefs, you'll notice this, that your heart speaks one voice, and it's not judging the other things. It's just saying, this is what's good, this is what interests me, this is where our interests lie, and this is our integrity. And we don't need to say, you're bad and you're not, and this is good and this is not. We don't need to do that. We're just focused on where we want to be. That's the difference. Your heart is always focused on where you want to be, instead of wasting time thinking about the contrast of all of that. Okay, the contrast is there so that you can understand where you want to be. The contrast is working on its own. You don't need to pick it out and point it out. It's already doing its job, bouncing back and forth. It's showing you different things. It's already doing that. It's like the cells in your body. You don't need to watch every cell in your body to figure out if you're healthy or not, right? So it's that kind of thing. You just you as you're doing, you say, oh, this feels good to me. This really interests me, and your body is energized and it's giving you energy, and you have all sorts of resources and ideas are coming to you. When you're in that flow, this is what you're supposed to be doing, so you just do. You keep doing. You keep looking forward to what inspires you. You don't stand there and when you start nitpicking, criticizing, even if you're pointing out good points and you're pointing out bad points, you're still criticizing. Now you're in your ego plane, and it's draining. When you pay attention to your body, at the end of the day, at the end of that conversation, you're drained. It doesn't matter if you make the best points, you know. It's just like being in a courtroom, and you may have won the case, you may have pointed out all the good, but at the end of the day, you're just drained, because you weren't focused on the interest of your soul. Okay, I'll move on. I think you kind of have that. Let's take a look at the card for the theme of the week, the Archangels Oracle. Okay, and this fits. Angel therapy. So you need to take care of yourself. You need to just let everything go and get out of your way and let the angels, like the universe, help you. Okay? So this card right now is giving me a feeling that if you need help, and you need to allow yourself to be helped. You need to allow others to support you. You need to trust in the course trust the course that you're on. You know, trust that you've chosen what you're passionate about, what interests you. Trust the energy. You know, like they wrote out the word energy. So you may feel energized, but maybe not. There's some things that are not happening just yet, or things aren't seemingly working out in the way that you thought they would. But you still are energized. You're still hopeful. You're still feeling. Um, you have a sense of things unfolding eventually in a very powerful way. So they're writing the word expression. So right now, this may not, the situation you're in may not have all the bells and whistles in the moment, but you are feeling as though you're really able to express yourself. You're being fulfilled in some way. Like expression, like you're able to be yourself. Maybe this is a situation in which you're this is the most authentic that you felt, and maybe maybe this is the most amount of receptivity to your authenticity and the expression of that you've experienced, even though it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It doesn't have all the securities that you're looking for. You can't bolt this down and say, I got this and it's mine, and nobody can take it away from me. It could be a job, it could be a relationship that of any nature. It could be a romantic relationship, it could be a new friendship, or it could be that you're working in an environment of a group of people that kind of feel like your tribe, or that you've met this group of people at a class or some sort, and you feel this way, but you just don't have all the securities, the that you were looking for at this stage. But see, this situation, the way you feel, is the indication of what will unfold. And if you keep nurturing that and you turn it over to the angels and let them take care of the final details, then this will unfold as you are sensing it will. So you don't need to think about, am I doing the right thing or not? See that thing again with the ego? That's what am I doing the right thing or not? That's the ego. Does this interest you? Are you energized? Do you feel passionate in what you're doing? That's your answer. You don't need to deliberate or to pick it apart. You don't need to look at your choices and see, did I do this right, or should I have gone this way? No, because you if you feel engaged, if your heart's engaged, it's right. Let everything else fall into place. The information will come. The actions that you're looking for will happen. Okay? It's going to fall into place. Some things are going to sort of erect, okay, and build, and so it's not that every symptom thing is just going to fall into place. That is an expression, but things are also going to start to happen. Like I'm seeing sort of erect, like build or develop. So just keep feeling, nurturing this feeling of authenticity, that you're in a place of alignment. There's no gap between your I am presence and you. You're both I aming. You're saying that I am. You're both speaking the same language. You're on the same page, so to speak. Okay. So the card says, "Give your cares and worries to us angels, and allow us to take your burdens." And so when you find yourself worrying and taking on too much, when you feel burdened, when your heart feels heavy, when your heart's been, it's almost like you sacked your joy, then just recognize that, oh, I'm doing work that I'm not supposed to be doing. When your heart feels like that, you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. You are taking on the work that the universe is doing for you, but you somehow say, "Can I help?" And they're like, "No, no, no, relax, relax, relax." You know that type, right? You probably are that type. You go somewhere, and and it's for you, and you're like, you just can't sit back and relax. It's like, no, what can I do? Because you feel guilty. you, you feel bad that you're not doing something, but you always are doing something. You just don't give yourself the credit. And everybody has their role. They need to fulfill their role in the process in order for them to feel good too. So when it's your turn to relax, you need to do that, because otherwise you are robbing someone else of the opportunity to feel fulfilled, and as though they're contributing to their own path and their own alignment. You have to give. You can't hog all this all the time. So, and this is a balance. So just relax, enjoy, and when you're not enjoying, that means you've taken on something that's not meant for you to take on. If that's worry or trying to nail something down, trying to control it, just figure out what that is quickly without going back into the past and dredging up all kinds of stuff, and let it go. Okay? Let's take a look at the cards for the beginning of the week, and let's see how our week starts. We've pulled this card again in the same position of the week. So we are really struggling here with feeling abundant, right? Is really what this card is indicating. We're struggling to let that light in. In this card, I don't know if you can see it, but there's just lots of brush. Like plants. It's just you couldn't walk through there easily. It's just not clear. It hasn't been cleared so that you can see what the path is. So that means that you've lost your path. You've lost a sense of your path. Now, you feel lost because you're looking for security in all the wrong places. You're looking for security outside of yourself instead of finding it within. This card for me means you're not in alignment with your I am presence. You're not, you allow something, you allow yourself to worry, and then as soon as you worry, it takes you off of that being on the same page with your I am presence. And when you're on the same page, you feel you're focused. So um, you're focused on what you're passionate about. You're focused on what interests you. You're what we were talking about before, because you're not criticizing. You're not measuring yourself against someone else or against your past successes, or your failures. You're just being where you are, and you are recognizing what is within this situation that benefits you. So again, it's like everything may not be picture perfect, but there's something in this situation that fulfills you and that's interesting. And if you focus on that, you'll find that balance, that realignment, that again, and you'll have a new sense of security, and you're free all of a sudden. So let the clarity is trying to come in and reach you. Remember your light is another message I kind of get when I see this light coming in. Remember your inner light. Don't give yourself to the outer forces. Don't give in to the outer forces. Because eventually, if you give in to those outer forces of seeing of how we measure success, then you won't feel so successful. And then you will create those blocks that you are afraid of. Okay? Let me just tune in and see if there's any additional information coming up about this card. There's a sense of reaching out to someone, and kind of embracing their love. They're showing me sort of like the two people, and they embrace, and then they became one. And don't let yourself get in this place where you lose yourself in someone else. Okay, that could be love, but it could also be in, don't lose yourself in anything either. Okay, don't let don't lose yourself in wanting so much for that security, nailing things down, that you lose yourself. Because when you nail those things down, everything is kind of an extension of you. So you nail yourself down, and you can't prosper. You can't reap the rewards that you've been working towards. So don't don't allow yourself to lose sense of your authentic place within you, because that's what keeps you free and open to experiences that change can bring about the realization of your desires to unfold. Okay, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. All right, so we have the Seven of Fire, and it looks like we are getting in places where we are maybe defensive, where here, it's like you are feeling like, upstaged, or that other people may try to upstage you. And you're afraid about maybe losing a position, and you are struggling to hold what you got. It's just you're struggling, and you don't want to. These two things don't work well. This is why this card comes up from the angels, the angel therapy. You're. I want to almost say that you are getting dragged into some kind of drama where you are, or you potentially could, where your fears are getting the best. You're worried about, holding on to things, and now you're worried about trying to maintain position or status, with this card, the Seven of Fire. And when you worry about all of that's the attachments we're talking about. That's about that bolting, trying to bolt things down. Don't don't focus on that. This card shows that you're in the event. You're in the seat of advantage. He's in this card. No matter what kind of drawing it is, the person is higher up, and so that represents you. And you're worried about a threat from below, but you're standing on the higher ground. So first of all, don't lower yourself to the level of others in their thinking. Okay, you could be a person who's in a position of leadership, and it's your role to not go down to where they are and get dragged into their drama, but to sort of elevate them from that. And you have the gifts and the tools within you to show them a better way. Okay, um, so be aware that there could be some advantage. This card could all be saying there's some advantage that you're overlooking because you're looking too much at the negative. But the thing is get out of that whole comparison thing. Get out of that trap and focus on what you're interested. Because the fire energy is about inspiration, right? So you may be feeling like you're stuck. You may feel as though you're stuck in in something, like you're cornered, but tap in, relax, let go do something, and come back, and you'll have the answer, because and I'm saying that you'll have the higher solution as well. Okay, don't try to get the solution from where you are. Don't try to get the solution from the struggle. Get the solution from the place of ease that you have allowed yourself to find. Let it go, get some, let it, hand it over, and then they'll be able to put the real answer right into your heart. Okay? Now let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. All right, so we have now the Hermit card. So this is all about, this week, relaxing, really going within. So here, with the Hermit, what this may indicate is that you need to withdraw. Okay, you need to really um, go within. How you kind of need to withdraw. You need to kind of take a step back and go and get your the major arcana card is indicating internal shifts, spiritual shifts. So this is what's happening in this week is another very powerful lesson. Okay, sort of continuing with that sort of energy of review that we've had with Archangel Jeremiah. And we have angel therapy here with Archangel Raphael, so that means that this is a therapeutic kind of experience that you're going through. It's going to bode well for you, even though it looks like it's challenging, but it's going to be significant what comes out of this experience for you, so that you are learning to distance yourself from the dramas, the beliefs that don't work for you. You're going to finally see the light, if you will. All right. So give yourself, spend some time in meditation, time for self discovery. So you may be called upon as a spiritual teacher or leader to kind of set the tone, to bring, you may be the one who channels that higher enlightened information or solutions that helps everyone find a common ground, or to find alignment as a group or within a relationship of some nature. So, let me just tune in and just see if there is. So I see people holding hands, at least two people, and it feels like a little bit more, and someone standing and in between them is sort of like mediating. So there could be a situation where you are, number one, you may need to look for a mediator. That means someone who, a third party who has their interest, or what's the word? They're unbiased, or in their, you know, to the situation. So this could be you. That's that person. That's the mentor, or you need to a mediator, or you need to seek out a mediator. And I'm not saying it's like an argument, but it may be like you're working on something and you just need somebody to come in that's outside of all of this to help you all find that solution that you're trying to work on together. That just may be the thing you need, like a consultant to come in. They're writing out the word hierophant, so like a teacher, really. If there may be someone professionally, or like a counselor or a teacher, or a coach that may be helpful for you. I'm seeing the word job. You may need someone like a life coach, or what do you call it, like a job counselor or something like this, that may help you to refine your resume. So if this is about work and you've been trying to look for jobs and you've been feeling like really challenged by this, and you have the right things, but you're not figuring out what it is you need to do, like you feel like everything is against you, then go see a job counselor, or someone who can help you um, figure out what's going on and what you need to present differently in that process. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the card from the bottom. Okay, so we have the Sun card, and that means that there's a lot of opportunities underneath all of this, okay, coming for you. And that you really, this is going to lead to success. This is what we've been saying. It's going to unfold beautifully. So I have to stop here, but I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and thank you for your comments and joining us here on YouTube. If you're looking for an angel reading, you can go to my website, theangelschool.com, which you can find in the description link below. Join us for the daily card messages Monday through Friday on my Facebook page, which you can also find below. So until next week, God bless you all.